Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in a previous video, we taped this room off. We got all of the joints covered and I used this bazooka or automatic taper for the first time from level 5. I, however, am not experienced and I learned a lot during that first, time through this job site. Let me tell you the biggest mistake I made that hopefully will help you guys. When I was watching videos on using this, I was seeing people talk about just hold the taper up here. Don't necessarily hold the black thing, this little slider that basically cuts your tape, brings it up, whatever. I was not noticing there is a very little needle in here, okay? Now, if you can see this, if you can focus, that little needle, as I come down, it grabs the tape, and then as you pull it up, it pushes the tape out. What I was doing, and I didn't realize, is I was not holding this and I was letting this stay in this position. And when I was running the taper, that little needle was cutting through my fiber mesh. What that means, and I'll show you right here, I got a good example down low that you can see. Right here in this corner, do you see that? That is where when I was running the bazooka down this corner, it was cutting the tape or the mesh. And then now I have mesh on this side, but in this area, it's non-existent. So what I need to do, and it's kind of unfortunate because I've already gone through that job, is I need to go through and I'm going to retape my corners. And then this video is going to be all about finishing, which is going to be with this other new tool, which I am even more pumped than the taper. I've seen so many videos of people using these on the internet because I've just been studying how it's done. And this is gonna cover all the joints. And the way that I watch it on the internet, it's effortless. So it must be pretty easy. So today we're gonna bust out the 10-inch box and we're gonna get all these joints covered after I fix my mistake, which I've never used this, so now I know, and hopefully if you ever get into it, just be careful. Don't let your tape get torn in half because then it literally is useless. So this is what I should have used in the beginning. I really am a fan of it. It's expensive. It's way more expensive than your fiber or your standard paper tape, but it makes just like really nice corners and it requires less coating because you only have to basically set it in the mud and then cover the edges. You don't even have to go all the way to the corner. Suppose if you're not learning, you're dying though, right, Greg? So I learned a lesson on that taper. I do think this is probably one of my favorite tools that I never owned. If you didn't watch my first video, this is basically a corner roller, so it sets your tape as tight in the corner as possible, pushing out all that excess mud. So once this is done, here you go, buddy, I can come through and, well, you'll see. Just go ahead and clean it up. Looks like I got a little bit of maybe a bend right here. Usually that means there's probably an excess amount of mud back in that corner there still. But now I can just come through and clean this off. Look how easy that is. So there, that's an unfortunate 5-minute, not even mistake, just getting this fixed. But now I have this straight flexed perfect 90. I did not get any sponsorship by saying that, but this stuff is really nice. It gives you a perfect corner. And honestly, look at the difference, Greg. Why didn't I just do this?
I don't know.
Look at how nice that corner is. It was not that difficult. Can you move me over, big dog?
Yes.
Man, I'm glad Greg's here. Go.
You might need to do something with that very tippy corner. You see how it bulges?
No, that's fine, dude. That's all good. Okay. Make sure that's in the corner.
We'll grab the beater.
Grab the beater.
Raindrop.
Hey, Greg, you want to take this to the corner?
Sure. I've never done this before.
Well, don't be afraid to put pressure on it. Just take it to the corner.
Wow. That should yeah.
Yep, put pressure on it.
I'm pressing, brother. I'm pressing.
Hey, I want to hear that squeeze, man.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Nice, thanks.
All right.
Don't press too hard. Yep. Rain makes corn. That's a rain out there, man. Jeez.
Rain. Welcome to March. Mad.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Mars.
No. Oh my gosh, you put some pressure on that.
Bro, it's all about the pressure.
It's all about the money.
Okay, so this is gonna require use of this pump. Actually, it doesn't require it, but I think it'll make this a lot quicker. Okay. Okay, we need to get our mud mixed down. We want it to be, you know, a little bit soupier than what it comes out at. And I actually did a little bit the other day on the weekend around here, so I did put some water in this, but I'm gonna probably do some more. So let me take a look. I'm not going crazy. Yeah, I'm calling that good. All right, so I think we have this pretty good and set up for box filling, and the point of this versus the big gooseneck is, see that hole right there? Fill it up, boom, boom, you're all good. I mean, the first time I thought maybe we had to, you can undo these clips and you could fill it up, but then it's just falling out. So this is definitely the way to go, obviously. I'm excited, man. I have been wanting to use one of these for a long time. Long time. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do is when I'm not using this, I'm just gonna drape this over just so I don't lose my moisture out of here. This doesn't feel like I'm getting anything, to be quite honest. Oh, there we go. Had to get her primed. Now it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably good to start, you know what I'm saying? Okay, man, we ready for this? Well, let's do this flat seam right here. Okay, so a little messy, but that's insanely fast compared to having to pull it out of your pan and trowel it on. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure out that. I think I'm gonna probably come from both sides. Wow, way too much, Greg. Way too much. I gotta get that feeling. Okay, let me see. I wonder if I can just kind of like get this back in there a little bit instead of having to clean it up.
Maybe it's a little too thin?
No, I think I just, you know, I'm putting a lot of pressure because I don't know that feeling yet.
Gotcha. Maybe so, you just need to let it leak out and give it like slight pressure versus like pushing on it.
Yeah, I think so.
That was nice.
So this does have adjustments that I'm probably not good enough to even, you know, really figure out yet. I think I'll do these and then I'll check to see, actually, let me see your thing real quick, buddy. What do we got here?
So you got to the top side, but.
So you see that? That's pretty much beautiful, dude. Look at that. Completely nice filled in.
I respect that.
Yeah, so I'd say we're pretty good. Ah, you rat. I'll get better, I'll get better. So this thing can just move around, and that way you can, as you move, it can stay putting pressure on the wall, but you can also hold this lever, and then that locks it in place so that you can obviously take it up to the ceiling, because if I let go of the lever, the box will just fall, like it doesn't have any support. So I'm kind of trying to figure out when to apply pressure, when not to. And I wish these were all gonna be horizontals, but we're gonna now move into these verticals. So we'll start at the top. Oops. Okay. Now I'm trying to. Whoa! What the heck?
Oh!
Where'd that all come from?
Oh my God.
I think I pushed too hard, man. Holy crap. Interesting. I mean, that's not horrible, is it, guys? I realize I'm not a pro, and this is not me teaching you guys how to do this. This is more like, hey, come along with me as I learn, and we try it. Greg, do you want to try one?
I'll let you continue.
Okay. See, the reason I asked Greg if he wanted to try one is because everybody will be in the comments saying, why are you not letting Greg do it? I would. I just know Greg don't really want to.
I got my job, you got your job.
Yeah, but if you want to try it, just let me know.
All right.
Oh, I missed it. I get better at that. I'm out. Nope, I got a little bit left. A little bit of mud don't matter.
You should fill up that electrical box for the electrician.
Yeah, who cares about the electrician?
It'll be a fun one. A little hide and go seek with them.
Okay. Oops, there we are. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's not horrible, dude.
Maybe it's the other way.
Okay. Oh. Out of mud. That's not bad, dude. Greg, that's way easier than going up there and doing this the whole time and then splattering it around.
I agree.
Saw that happening. I don't think I got the skills for that yet. Oh no! Quick, let me see your thing.
Oh.
Yeah, this is why we stopped putting lights in right there.
Oh,
Here,
you
just-
idiot.
Sorry. I just need to get better so I don't have to do this at all. Because some of them are good.
Well, doing a sloped ceiling is probably not the easiest thing to do either.
Well, on your first time, yeah, you do like a couple horizontals and it's like, oh, that's all. So now you have a bunch of verticals and ceiling ones. Mm-hmm. You know what they say though, Greg? Sometimes when you get thrown into the fire, you learn how to
swim?
I don't know, I got nothing, dude. But I feel like there's a saying there.
I don't know.
All right, we need to mix another batch, and then I'll probably put the stilts on because I think I'm like at max when I'm up here, and I think if I get the stilts on, I can be closer to the ceiling, get a little bit better angle. You'll have to help me, but we'll just run a couple, we'll flatten them out, make sure they're good,
Yep.
and then you can keep me filled up. And then, dude, that's like...
That's it, other than corners.
Which I think are by far the easiest.
Glad we're not out there.
It went pretty good, but now we're going to put stilts on. You know what they say, dude. If it's easy, everybody would do it.
That actually looks a little bit thicker than last time, so that might be good.
I actually think it's not as thin. I mean, I think it is as thin. I gotta practice my side step with the old stilts.
Honestly? Brother,
No, I'm gonna have to. If I can reduce the amount of sidestepping. It's not bad though, dude.
not bad at all.
This is pretty legit. Okay.
You out?
Switch ya? Here, take that, I don't need it. You can use it to clean up your tool if you want. Let me make sure I'm good. Dude, I'm pretty dang good.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just double checking, but this one, other than the start right there, that is money. Brother, I'm in love. This is best thing since sliced bread, for sure. This is gonna be a little bit weird because I can't get all the way into the corner. Oh shoot, that plastic bag. I thought I was gonna step on it and go over. I don't know if I have it in me to go the other way.
Do it.
Not pushing enough, Kyle.
Nice. Oh, not nice.
I think I was pushing too much.
That's a glob and a half.
Yeah, that's not good, dude. On the bottom of my stilts.
Yeah, just don't walk on it.
No, it's gonna be slippery. Here, Greg, look at.
Actually, you're not gonna be bad. You actually got most of it off already.
All right. Most definitely the coolest thing I've done in a while. That was, I mean, it's not quite lunchtime. We've probably been mudding up here for a couple hours in total. Had to fix a ton of corners because I messed up on the automatic taper. So that took up most of the morning, and then boom. I mean, doing all these flat joints took no time at all. We're gonna go ahead and clean up, and then probably move over to getting corner beads filled for the first top coat, as well as hitting some of these corners. Maybe they'll be dry enough. If not, I might have to wait till another day, but that'll all be in this video. So we're just gonna move right into corner beads and corners. So with this stuff here is even more expensive. It's got I think there's more vinyl here, or whatever this composite material is that kind of builds up this inside. But the nice thing about this tape is that blue line, it stays exposed because you're not mudding all the way up tight into the corner, which is what you would do with normal paper tape. This, you're basically getting this set into your mud bed, squeezing it out, getting it set, and then when you come back, it's called no coat for a reason. You're just covering this bottom papered edge and fanning it out. So that's not very pretty. I could have done a better job, but that's literally all we have to do. And I'll do 2 coats and I'll kind of smooth it out with a bigger trowel next time. But this is really all I'm gonna do. Is just cover it like so. Keep a nice little angle on it and not go so crazy this time. Because when I was taught how to drywall, I would do paper tape and I would come through and I would tape like all the left sides of a corner, and I would come in all the way, like actually here. So this guy here, this corner is not taped with the no coat. So when you're doing a corner, I feel like I can, share this, is I would come in here, I would run one side all the way and get it coated. Kind of like so, right? Now you have two options. If you kind of want to do I don't think it's a great job, but you can always come in here and then do this other side. But what happens is if you try to get a tight corner, you end up, obviously you can see I end up doing kind of a mess on the other side. So I would just come in, I would leave this like so, make sure that my left side is done. I'd let that dry. I'd come in and kind of clean out my little, pieces that are like right here. When it's dry, I'll just take that and chunk it off. And then I would hit the right side. That's usually a 2-day process because it takes time to dry. And if you get in it too early and you knife it, it'll like ruin your mud, right? With the no coat, I can do the bottom and the top all at the same time. So I think it is a time saver for me because I'm not good enough to do both sides at the same time. So now I need to kind of clean this up because this side will have to be done later. That's probably the least favorite thing about mudding for me. My hands go numb.
Go numb?
Yes.
That's never good.
Get rid of it. Starts to get all like cakey and weird, so it's a good place to put it. It's just a good place to waste the bottom of my pan. Once you've ran it a million times, it starts to get a little bit sticky and kind of like putty-y. So I just like to, when I get down to the bottom of a pan, I just burn it up on these corners I gotta fill in anyway because it's gonna take quite a bit of mud anyway to get it filled out because you're trying to, bring it out to this point across. So it'll get a lot of fill. I mean, not horrible amount, but I don't know, it's just a good place to burn up the crap. Just gotta get it on as much as possible. Kind of made a mistake on this sheet. I tried to think about that, but I failed here. We ran a 4-footer because it was easier. We should have cut, this right here is the tape bed. It's the part that's beveled. So when I put my corner bead on, the bead is not tall enough to give me a nice bed of mud here. It basically puts this bead flush with the face here. So you can see the line. That is where my tape bed is built into the sheet. Don't run tape beds where you're gonna put a corner bead. It messes up the angle and doesn't allow you to get like the proper fill in there. So now I'm gonna have to kind of just feather this out a little bit. It is what it is. It's not the end of the world, but I should have known better. That's not good.
Is it bad?
Yeah, look how thick it is. Look at this over here. It never got touched at all. It got ran and then like maybe squeeged, but look at this. See this right here?
I cannot see that from
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, we're gonna have to
all
sand.
along the edge?
Yeah, that's gonna have to be sanded. I mean, I don't know what else I can get over here. I think that's it. Until it dries. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna head into the closet of doom. And I hate closets because closets are all corners and they're tight. So there's no room to work, but it's all gotta get done. So it's too tight for both of us. So we'll just go ahead and throw up the camera, GoPro it. And I might not even do that today. I might wait till maybe tomorrow morning. So, but that's where I'm gonna head next probably. It's a closet and I gotta let all this area dry. Remember, once again, I do have this hallway that we're doing. It's dark, I don't have lights in here yet. And I'm just kind of working on this also on my weekend warrior stuff. So if I think to throw up a camera, I will. It's a little bit unique because we need scaffolding in here. And now that I know how to use the box, I think I'll just run all these flats real quick next time I get the box out. So yeah, this guy's kind of behind But we did finally get this drywall done here thanks to us realizing the mini split didn't need anything back there. All right, guys, now that we've got the second coat on, we're gonna go to the third final coat, and all the flats, the corner beads, butt joints, those have all been coated multiple times. However, some of the corners have not been coated because I had to fix them. And that is things like this peak, and also some of these corners in the back here that I didn't like because I used the fiber mesh first. So we're gonna do that. And before we start though, we're gonna change up our mud and we're gonna add some food coloring so that we know where we have coated to make sure that we get everything. There's nothing more annoying than going to your finished sand and realizing I didn't put a final coat on this. So that's a nice tip to use and follow. Put some food dye, makes it easier to know where you've been and where you haven't. I don't want to put a ton. Oh yeah. You see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come on.
Almost there.
All right, all right.
Well, that's about it.
Oh, okay. I just want it to be distinguishably different, you know?
Right. Might add more.
That's kind of cool. Greg,
Yep.
can I see a 12-inch? Dude, this was the move, by the way. 12-inch, yeah, give me that big pan, or the big knife. And just, I'm just gonna, because I had to kind of go back and forth on this, I just wanna make sure this is smooth. And then you can take it back. Okay, don't worry about those. There's a little bit of some lines in there, but that'll come out. Not ideal.
Not ideal.
No, there's still a little bit of an angle to fill up here. I might have to do
A little hand.
Well, here's the problem. The problem is it kind of fills up, but not necessarily where I want it to. Yeah. Oh, you. Okay, so we just got done finally putting all the 10-inch boxes over the flats. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put a 12-inch, and the whole goal here is that it's gonna be just bigger than what you just put on. So always trying to kind of just barely go over the edges of your mud. You don't wanna just pile mud in the middle and have your tape bed mud, your adhesive mud kind of on the outside. It doesn't sand as easy. So we're kind of trying to, actually, Greg, you got a trowel? Yeah. Here, I'll show you guys. Let me grab this trowel. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe you'll be able to see it. So, okay. See that? You see how flat that is? There's no real light coming through. That's because when we ran that box, it did a really good job of being perfectly flat. So what I'm gonna do is gonna make sure that this is as flat as possible, not concave. And I'm gonna run this over, just putting a skim light coat over it. And then that will be it. That will be my final coat on all of my tape. I'm anxious. I feel like after the first time running the 10-inch, it was a learning curve and I got a lot better at it just in the one day that I worked with it. I'm sure not professional level, I get it, but as long as you're getting better, then you're doing something right. Oh no. Got something here. Yeah, I gotta figure that one out right there at the end. You're doing good, dude. It looks really good.
You being facetious?
No. Good enough, huh? And you know how you can tell? Because I'm not putting on a whole lot of mud here. You see that? Mm-hmm. So I've got some corners to do and catch up that I kind of messed up on, and I put the fiber mesh, which we knew that the day we put it up, and I guess we live with our errors. I went on the internet, I watched a bunch of videos. I have now read a ton of comments on my video saying, well, you're an idiot, you can't use fiber mesh in the automatic taper. You can use fiber mesh. However, it's not good for corners. It worked great in the flats. I was having an error on the taper, and the needle was not set properly. So you can use it. I would definitely not recommend doing it in the corners. That's why I switched over to all of the Perfect 90 straight flex and the no coat, because that, honestly, I like it. You just have to apply it all by hand. It won't go through the machine. So I'm gonna get those all covered, but I think that's the final coat. Anywhere that you see the gray, that's been hit with this last final coat. So I have a couple corners to do. Greg hit all the screw holes except for the ceiling, and then we'll be on to sanding. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into some time-lapse footage. We'll get some of this stuff finished up, and then we should be good to move on. right, time has finally come to start sanding the drywall mud. Now, this is what I typically would use. This is just a sanding block. Greg is over here with another sanding block, and he's already getting started in my corners. The nice thing is, this might be the first time that I don't despise sanding, is we've got a Festool Planex, which if you don't know what a Planex is, stay tuned because we're gonna get to it, and an extractor. So this should be not only easier, but also much less dusty, which is better for you as the worker because you're not breathing in a bunch of dust. And even if you wore a mask, I swear you still get it to come in, it's very fine. First thing that we are going to do though, is we're gonna go around the corners and like right here. So I'm using a no coat corner, okay? This is a paper corner with a vinyl backing. And right here you can see that when I'm mudding it, I'm not actually mudding all the way into the corner. I'm basically covering the edge of the tape. And sometimes you get a little bit of, obviously the mud is not perfectly flat. So we're just coming in here and kind of taking it like so. We're taking that corner or that little line off. And then when I come in with the Planex, that's gonna do the bulk of the sanding, but we're just going through hand checking everything. And also this is the last opportunity for us to make sure that it's mudded properly, that we didn't miss anything. So when we're going around, if we see some gouges or anything imperfect, air quotes, because it's not perfect, then we can fix it before we do this, because obviously this is it. We're done mudding. They say that you don't have to be a good mudder, you just have to be a good sander, because you can put as much mud and crap on there, you just gotta sand it all off. So the goal is light sanding, and that's what we're gonna go for. So Greg and I are gonna go around, we're gonna make sure these corners are looking pretty good. And look at that dust. We're not gonna have any of that pretty soon. We probably should have a mask on, Greg. You got a little one that you gotta live for, A little one coming. Oh yeah, this ain't bad, man. This is not bad at all. I'm gonna have to get the old Stilts on probably. That's why I love the no-coat tapes, because it leaves you with a perfect corner without having to shape that corner by sanding the mud out. Like this corner is a traditional tape, and I have mud all the way into the corners, which means I have to define that corner perfectly, either with my trowels, or I gotta come back in and clean it up real nice with the sander. Here, I'm just sanding the edges, keeping it nice and smooth, but my perfectly straight corner is defined, which makes it super easy to paint a nice straight line. Just gotta find that balancing point. Where's it at? No, I'm not doing it. It's that last step, Greg. You wanna try it?
Try what?
Get on the stilts without a ladder. Dude, it's
probably eat.
I think I just gotta go for it. But then it's like you have to be balanced at the same time,
Yeah, I don't know.
You got a little better balance than me, probably.
I don't know. You were a gymnast.
It's a little tricky feeling, isn't it?
What do I want to do?
I don't know. Ooh, you're not as flexible as me, maybe.
I don't think so.
You almost gotta like... It's a little... Hey, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that shirt?
I had it.
Yeah, this is probably the worst spot. Is this guy right here. Luckily it's 10 feet in the air and nobody's really ever gonna see it. I don't care who you are, nobody's not sanding, Greg. You're never gonna not sand.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can drywall mud and not sand. It's not gonna look perfect. I don't want to get into paper.
You're a little crazy in this corner here, Kyle.
Huh?
You got a little crazy in this corner with the mud.
Ah, that's okay, dude. That's what you're here for. So we need to...
Read the instructions?
No. Instructions? We don't need no stinking instructions. We just need to get the hose and stuff out. Go ahead and put the bag in. Interesting. Got Bluetooth, Greg. We're gonna hook up to this bad boy. Okay, so we got a little clip. Did you bring that up or no?
The clip?
Yeah, there's something to put. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I like it. I like it. So we've got ceiling and wall, so that changes the suction. And let's see, we got light, so that's gonna show all of our mistakes. Let's see, right there we can... way easier. Look, I don't know if I can turn the light on real quick. See that right there? Mm-hmm. I was like looking at it and look, see how deep I got?
Ah, yeah, you got a little crazy.
So this is,
you gotta keep moving.
Definitely gotta keep moving. I mean, we're on a 220 grit and it's gonna, there ain't no messing around. No. We're moving. I mean, this thing is, you can see every imperfection. You already hit these, yeah, I think so. I think I see a little, I think I see a bubble. See this? Yep, right there, you see that? You see it?
Yeah. That's a bubble?
I think that's a bubble. What do you think?
It's easy. That is for sure.
I mean, dude, that would have taken me either a lot of effort with a pole saw.
Hour, probably.
No, not an hour, no.
Half
Gotta
hour.
hit these before we forget.
Oh shoot, yeah. We always forget about those.
Okay, so I'm basically done with the walls, and this is impressive. You gotta move fast. You can't stay in one place very long. I'm running a 220 grit. I've got the speed turned down because I'm not probably good enough and fast enough, nor is my job good enough probably to go just super fast. I think the better you get, obviously the less time you're gonna spend, but I think the most impressive part is this LED halo light that's around here. You don't even realize how many mistakes, lines, whatever, little defects in your mud job, or little specks on the wall that are from like maybe, you know, dripping off your knife or whatever, until this light hits the wall, you see everything. So I'm pretty confident that even if it didn't do a great dust collection job, I would want to use this just because I could see everything.
Everything, yeah.
You can see everything.
Yeah.
That's probably the best invention. So now we're gonna move on to the ceiling, and I just ran one and I had to turn it down even more because that sucker, you've got these settings here. So you've got a wall setting and you've got a ceiling setting. When you put this all the way on the ceiling, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want this thing to like ruin my drywall, but it will just suck and hang there. And what that's doing is obviously taking a lot of the weight off your shoulders. I should get my exosuit, but I don't
You'll
got
be
time
done in
for
like 5 minutes.
I'll be done. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that long. So let's just do it. Look at that, dude. Holy moly. I probably should have done this, Greg. So here's the other thing I noticed, okay? Every time I've ever drywall sanded, the wall, everything is left with dust everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then when you go to paint, either you're spraying dust or you have to clean all your walls off. Look at the difference between an unsanded and a sanded.
There's no difference.
No. Like when I hand sand, yeah, you can kind of see like here where it's been hand sanded. Like look at all this dust.
Just hanging up on
just
the wall.
hanging on the wall. You don't get that at all. I wonder what that looks like. How much sawdust or how much dust? Open that top. Let's just see if we can even see. You just pull the bottoms. Let me just pull the whole thing up.
The bottom of the bag.
I mean, definitely there's dust in there. It's not like a ton, but look how clean that is, man.
Worth it.
Hey, full transparency. I've partnered with Festool on a lot of different things. They sent me this to obviously use in content. Didn't buy it. I could highly recommend it. There's no, I mean, that's the honest to God truth. Not being paid per se to say this is good. What the heck happened there? But I'm telling you, this is good. Look at that, dude. Just freaking took that right out.
What line?
Exactly. A little kink in my neck from doing this. But my shoulders don't hurt from doing this for an hour. That was the easiest sanding I've ever done. And it also, Greg, it opened my eyes. I'm not as good of a mutter because usually,
I could have told you that.
Well, when you go around and just hand sand, you see stuff. But you don't miss anything with that.
No, that shows
You
everything.
literally miss nothing. It shows you every imperfection. So this is all sanded. I think other than I missed these lower screws because I couldn't do them on my stilts, I got to do this lower row of screws, but that's no big deal. I'll do that. Sand them with this later, and it's going to have no dust. So, Greg, I think we're good to roll this up, man.
Paper up?
Well, wait a second. We probably need to hand do like the face of this. Did you already do this?
I did do that, yeah.
Yeah, it does look good. Okay. And then this.
Yes.
I probably should.
I didn't do the center.
Okay,
but I did.
I probably should hit that and that, and I need to get this all out of my way. And let's hit this real quick, and then we'll be good to pull this paper up and start doing some cleanup. And then it's time to paint. Ooh. It's not too bad. Is that better? I don't know. So this is a good little test. We have the light on the Planex. This is a butt joint. Really, this hallway is where all my butt joints are because there's no way to avoid them. And Greg, look at, you can barely even see where the joint is. Dude, I'm telling you, usually when I used to do this stuff a lot more often, dude, you'd see a freaking ridge. I mean, we got natural light coming across. You can't see it. And then even if you shine your light, it's not like there's there's not a definitive shadow line to where that is. I haven't sanded this one yet. I mean, even then, it's not bad.
No.
Let's see. And I like it because it applies really even pressure right across the middle. I probably could have put more mud on this joint.
Yeah.
But it ain't bad at all. All right, that's all the drywall sanding here in the room. Planex, awesome. Can't recommend it highly enough. But I do have the Makita, and I do believe that's a 36 volt, or maybe it's just an 18 volt LXT. Maybe they'll come out with an XGT, but I'm gonna use it in the closet. I got to move some equipment in there, and then I can sand that, so I'll have a good idea what the difference is and the cost, because this is the most expensive option. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand that next. I got to get out of here right now, so my clothes may change, but we're gonna go into the closet, get that sanded with the Makita, and then this will all be done. And then we can move on to paint and prime, as well as clean up this entire mess. Then I'm gonna be glad, Greg, that we put the paper. I put the paper down. You didn't help me do that, did you?
No.
That was like,
I think.
That was like a Saturday night deal. Yeah. So we're getting close, guys, and flooring is delivering very soon, which means this is really going to shape up. So let's get into the Makita and see how that works. Definitely is not the same ergonomics, Greg.
You probably shorten the stem.
100.
That probably helped you out in that little room.
Really, there's no reason for much of it at all. That's nice. You know, it's not bad. It's in a very small area. I mean, I'm in a very small area. You got to move faster, I think. It's not as refined feeling. But a lot better than sanding by hand. Yeah. A lot better than sanding by hand. Here's the downside. I could think it's doing a good job, but because it doesn't have that halo light, now I bring in the Festool. Yeah, all of a sudden you see all your lines. See it? I think if you don't care about the end result, it's probably good enough. The Makita's fine. It's way better than hand sanding. But dude, this tells the whole story. You can't miss anything with that. So now I just gotta do a little hand sand in these corners, dude. This is gonna be just fine as a closet. I don't care too much anyway. I just want it to look good. I'm just gonna soften these edges. You wanna just take a small thing and just walk around to the walls, mainly like just look at these edges and just try to make sure they're soft.
Yep.